Roll the camera. Okay.
Scene one, take one.
Kia ora! Welcome to News Blast. I'm Hugh.
And I'm Connor. Today on News Blast we have an assault on a whiteboard and the first 11 failure. But first up,
2 boys from Huntley School have been busted for buying lollies at a local Marton dairy. It is alleged that Harry Duncan and Chris Bennett ran across the softball pitch, jumped the fence and with their hoods up walked undercover into Marton. There they bought lollies, Skittles and V's. They thought they had got away with it, but they were found out and punished severely. Here's our on-the-spot reporter, Jacob, who has more on the story.
Hello, I'm Jacob, and joining me is one of our miscreants, Harry Duncan, to tell us more on the story. What drove you and trusty sidekick Bennett into going into Marton?
Well, it was just another one of those boring Sunday afternoons. Clearly, our lolly instincts took over, so me and Bennett hit the streets.
It is alleged that you ran across the softball pitch, jumped the fence, and then ran into Marton. Is this true? Tell us exactly how you did it.
Well, we casually walked out of the dining room, when we got our hoodies on, then walked across the field, jumped the gate, and we were in. But on the way back, our tutor, Mr. Denby, drove past, so we jumped into a bush, but the owner of the bush was looking out her window, saw us, so we jumped back out and ran.
What punishments did you get once you were found out?
Well, we had to scrub the concrete between Mather and Strombaum, scrub the brick wall around the chapel, clean every toilet and urinal in the school with a toothbrush, stack for a term, and clean the picket fence.
Thanks, Harry, and that's all from me. Now back to Connor in the studio.
an interesting interview. Thanks, Jacob. And now from lollies to wallies. A fire alarm set off by a student caused a commotion in the Huntley Recreation Room last week. A large number of boys were in the room watching Avatar on DVD when Sheldon Pierce hit the switch. The alarm sounded for a good 10 minutes before a teacher decided that it was safe to turn it off. Now over to our reporter Ollie.
Thanks, Connor. Hi, I'm Ollie, and today with me is the perpetrator, Sheldon Pierce. Sheldon, what gave you the urge to flip the switch?
Well, I don't know really. It was a normal Sunday morning, pouring down with rain at Huntley School, and we were in the rec room watching Avatar. I'd already seen it and I was getting a bit bored, so I walked into the library and found that the fire alarm had been broken, and I was fossing around with the glass inside and, pressed the switch. Just to make it clear to all my fans, it was an accident.
You say this was an accident, so how did the alarm go off, and what was your reaction?
Well, I was quite shocked, and I quickly tried to turn it off again, but finding that wasn't an option, and that I'd just set off the whole school fire alarm system, I quickly ran into the rec room, joining my friends watching Avatar, and pretended nothing had happened.
Tell us about the consequences, Sheldon.
Well, I got a D, which is the equivalent to a mass detention. I was made to stack tables for a week, and I got a $150 fine.
And we're out of time. Over to you, Hugh.
Thanks, Ollie. And now for something completely different. Yesterday, Mrs. Shand, a teacher at Huntley School, seriously assaulted a very expensive interactive smartboard in APG classroom in front of her badly behaved class. Exasperated with her class, Mrs. Shand was trying not to lose her cool when she assaulted the smartboard with a whiteboard marker rather than the specially designed interactive pen provided. Let's cross to our on-the-spot reporter who has more on the situation. Over to you, Angus.
Thanks, Hugh. I'm Angus, and here we have Harry, who witnessed the whiteboard getting damaged. Harry, how did it feel to see your teacher assault the smartboard?
Well, it was quite amazing actually, seeing Mrs. Shand draw on the interactive whiteboard with a marker pen, not the ones provided.
How and why was your teacher exasperated?
Well, our class isn't really the best of best, and we were doing our usual sort of Thursday morning jumping around noisiness, and Mrs. Shand sort of got a bit annoyed, and she started to lose her cool when she drew on the whiteboard with the pen.
How is the whiteboard now? Was there any damages to it?
Luckily the whiteboard is fine and it has no damage clearly known to this day, but hopefully we have no more periods like that.
Thank you for your time, Harry. Now back to Connor. Thank you.
Thanks, Angus. And now to sport. The Huntley First 11 team was annihilated in the annual fixture against Southall last week. Fortunately, Huntley managed to get the ball into the Southall's half in the last stages of the game, where left wing Campbell Robinson scored the only goal for Huntley. Let's cross to our sports reporter to find out more about that goal.
Thanks, Connor. I'm Luke Cooley, and I have with me here goal scorer Campbell Robertson. So Campbell, what did it feel like scoring your first goal for the First 11 hockey?
Oh, well, it was a bit of a blaster, eh? As soon as I swept the ball into the goal, the whole team came up to me running and jumping and cheering. And at that stage, I was in a bit of a daze.
So, tell us exactly how this goal was scored.
Well, Jordan had some great dribbling, and he was getting past 2 or 3 players, and then he passed it to our centre forward, who passed it to me, and I swept it into the goal.
Was your team really annihilated? Tell us what Miss Pratt had to say after the match.
Well, Miss Pratt said that the second half was 1,000,000 times better than the first, and she said that it was a 1-1 match after all.
Thank you for your time, Campbell. Now over to the gym with the weather update. Let's take a look at tomorrow's weather. Keeping in mind there have been several blackouts all over the country, so it would be a good idea to get out your gas cookers. Starting with Auckland, it will be rain, 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 so you will need your umbrellas. In Hamilton, there will be slight showers in the morning with easing to sunny periods in the afternoon. Next with New Plymouth, it will be windy and cloudy all day, so it won't be very good for flying. Lucky Wellington, it will be sunny all day, so head down to the beach. Snow continues in Christchurch and Dunedin. Expect further snow, flooding, slippery roads and muddy patches. That's all from me from now. Drive safely. Good night, New Zealand. Catch you tomorrow. Back to the news desk with Hugh and Connor.
Thank you, Jim. We'll be sure to wrap up warm in Dunedin tomorrow. Well, that's all from us too.
We hope you've enjoyed the show and wish you all a pleasant evening. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next time.
From the whole team at News Blast, goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, roll the camera. Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we are featuring an interview with a very peculiar-looking gentleman.
Scene 1, take 1. Scene 1, take 2. Take 2.